badger form. I don't need to. I can turn into a badger.
Well, all right. We are
Hello, people of the internet.
Yes. Hello, people of the interwebs and stuff. This is episode 47, I think, or 46. 46. Alerts? We don't need no alerts. What else?
We don't need no sneaking alert.
Remember the Cylons? No. Who was it that used to go alert, alert? Is that the Cylons?
Right, no, that was alert. Alert was that was the guard in the first Superman movie that when they twist his head. The Christopher Reeve movie. That's exactly what that's from.
Oh.
Alert, alert. He just twists his head. I know too much random shit.
Sounds kind of unfortunate.
I'm casting Whirlpool of Doom. That sounds really nasty.
Vanessa's gonna try some stuff and then see if she can do another divination.
Aww.
Because we got all day.
I can cast a 45-foot diameter Whirlpool of Doom. That's a big-ass whirlpool.
That might come in handy for one of those Acaraman ships.
I've got stuff for the Acaraman ships, don't worry.
Your lightning was pretty effective.
What's the other one I've got?
I can call lightning, but I would harm people if I did so.
Well, you could call lightning and destroy a structure and not hurt people.
Yeah, for other reasons. Yeah. If it was going to put someone in danger, though, I think the mighty surgeon would be displeased.
Swirling Sides. There's another nasty one. I basically have a wall of swords that I can cast.
Do you have touch sickle?
I beg your pardon.
That's
Is
personal.
that a fourth-level spell?
It's
Is that fourth?
It turns your hand into a sickle, and you can use it to harvest. As a druid, it's helpful for harvesting certain things that becomes holy jam. I figured you probably had it.
Holy jam.
I don't have it in third or fourth. It must be a low-level spell.
Yeah, I think it's maybe
Second level.
Yeah.
The caster. Oh, I can even cast tracking. I can track somebody. I didn't know that.
Oh, can I?
Okay. I think we're up and running.
Oh, there's the spell I got for the ships. It's Whirl Wave. Tree nap. Oh, that tree's asleep. Can't you tell?
Alrighty then. Let's see if I can recap. Well, first of all, welcome to anyone who might be watching either
I'll be right back.
live on Facebook or recorded on YouTube. My name is Cobb. I live in the Midwest. I've been playing D&D since 1984, and I've been running my own homebrew world since about 1985. And it's had lots of players come through and lots of characters. That's a little loud. And the latest incarnation of this world, the world of Skell, has Daryl. He is playing Finessa, a sister of the Blend, a local religion. Sister that he is she is in a monastery of the Blend. That's where she comes from. This particular time. And he is also playing Boris Gump, a warrior.
Crump.
Boris Crump. Gesundheit. Loosely adapted from the Forrest Gump character played by Tom Hanks. And then on the bottom of the screen here we have Jason, who is playing Shadrach, a druid of the Aslorian Circle, here in the western half of the continent that they are currently on, the continent of Nakal.
Of the Great Order, sir.
And he is also playing Guy de Lance, a Knight of the Realm.
I'm going to cast a spell here when I get a chance.
And at some point during this game I will choke, and that's why I have water. It's just every game
Well,
now.
what?
I'm like, I'm Duncan. So these particular characters have recently come together after partaking on their own journeys, some of them together and some of them separately. And they have recently shepherded a group of freed slaves back to the monastery to hopefully get them rested and recovered, and then help them on their way to get back home. And they have decided to attempt to find a way maybe to see where they're looking for Boris's sister. They're looking to stop the slavers. And they recently went and did some research in the monastic library and came up with information about some like large boulder type thing that was seen recently on their journey, and this entity known as Kolam, the forest protector, who had been what would be the term, like put away or imprisoned or captured, and there was a horn that was kept in the slave hold that was the key to him being imprisoned. And when the horn was found and returned to Kolam's like little forest helper that happened to be this giant cockroach looking thing, Kolam was returned to the forest and swore to protect it. And as the slaves were being led away from the fort, the horn sounded and there was a huge battle, and the slavers and supposedly Kolam were in a fight. That's what was to be assumed. But the slaves were successfully removed, and everyone is now pretty much safe and sound back at the monastery at Black Rock Abbey. Abbot Patrick is in charge of the monastery, and there's all the different monastic positions are there that you would think of. and they had just dealt with the sacrist, who dealt with holy relics and items and possibly like sacred books and texts, and the librarian who was in charge of other illuminated manuscripts and such. So we pick up after them just learning some background information about Kolam and the large boulder-like thing. There's another player who's ill tonight, Brad. He plays Prince Bartholantis Ambelareth of the third house of the Emerald Forest, and he has joined the group and hoping to stop the slavers, I should say. Okay, so unless there's any edits or additions to the recap, I can already tell that you two were both saying something about casting some spells or whatnot. So unless someone really needs to go first, we can roll for it, or you guys can just pick amongst yourselves who's doing what.
Go ahead.
So since both of you said go ahead, both of you roll d20s, and whoever gets the highest goes first.
I'll go ahead then. That's fine. I won't.
Too late. Roll, bitch. No.
18.
I got a 4.
Okay. So, Daryl, who are you playing and what's going on?
I'm playing Vanessa at the moment, and she had just left the temple after her divination spell failed to garner her any results. And with the realization that she had about the text or something maybe relating to Kolam being helpful, she will go back to her room. She will gather her augury stones, parchment, and a quill, and then she will head back to the sacrist to speak with him.
Okay.
May I view the book again that had the legend of Kolam in it? I'd like to copy some of the text.
Of course.
All right. So I will get the book that had the picture of Kolam with giant stone. I will place 3 sheets of parchment on the table, and I will cast Amanuensis. Let me just take a look here, just to be sure. I don't think there's any special thing. It's the paper and the quill are the components that I need.
Quillfish.
I open the book.
What's the name of the spell again?
Amanuensis.
To start with an A?
Yeah, page 22 of the first volume.
What level spell?
3.
Okay.
If I have it.
O holy blend, grant my quill life to copy these texts as they appear in perfect repetition and create the magic ink that will flow from the quill and copy the exacting details of the legend of Kolam. And I'll highlight certain areas that I feel are of most importance, perhaps the picture of Kolam and the stone, egg, and other details. While that is going, I'm going to get out my augury stones, place them on a separate table.
Uh-oh, we frozen?
No?
Oh, okay.
I'm reading intently.
I will then cast Bless upon my augury stones. I use my holy symbol to wave across the stones. O heavenly blend, grant your blessings to these stones so that I may more clearly understand their meanings. Alright, and I do that. I then cast enchant runestones. And that is on page. Wrong one. Okay.
I found it.
Getting closer. Ooh, that's a good one. That is the second level spell on page 232 of the first volume. Again, with my holy symbol, I touch each stone and I pray, O heavenly blend, grant the enchantment of these stones so that I may more clearly understand the meaning of your messages and the correct course of action. And I cast that. And if the amanuensis is done, by that point, I will gather all my things together and I would speak to the sacrist once again. Sacrist, earlier in the day, I cast a divination spell in the temple, and I was unsuccessful at gleaning any information. And I thought perhaps in a holier place, I might have better luck. And I wondered if you would grant me access to the Holy Grotto beneath the library.
He looks at you up and down, and he says, the most holy of holies is only for those of certain stature within church hierarchy.
I realize I'm a lowly sister, but if you could grant me this, I would be in your debt.
Well, I don't seek payment, so there will be no debt collected. It is a matter of, would it be the proper thing? Would it be respectful to allow someone of your rank inside such a place? There are those that have worked long and hard and been faithful for far longer than you that have not been granted access. So, but I am sympathetic to your cause and to everything that you stand for, and I am very aware of what you have accomplished so far.
I appreciate that, and I understand that the rules do apply. If you find it to be acceptable, I think that it would increase my chances of gaining accurate knowledge about Kolam and this stone so that we may proceed in a fashion that is going to be helpful to ridding the land of these slavers. I think Kolam is a key component of what is going on, and I seek answers.
He looks at you with a very serious look, and he says, I must pray on this, and I will return with an answer.
Thank you for your consideration. I will continue to study the book of Kolam and see what I can glean from that. So I will wait.
So he turns and he walks from the area with the up on the there's like a series of small cages on the walls in this particular small 10 by 10 room, and in the middle there's like a square stone that's flat. It's like where some people set things to look at or whatever they do there. Hey, Eddie. There's a the book that you're looking at has a lock on it that could potentially keep it closed and or being unable to be removed from where it's kept. And you are there, as you said, looking at this as you're waiting there patiently. Do you do anything else?
Let me check out one other spell that I might. I don't know if I can cast it now or if I need to wait until the moment. Let's see.
All right. Well, while you're researching that, Jason, did you say Shadrach was wanting to do something?
Yes. First, I have a question. It's not on my sheet. How many times a day can I shapeshift into an animal?
If I remember correctly, it's 3, but each time it has to be a different classification. So it's like a mammal, reptile, and a bird, I think. But let me...
Yeah, 3 sounds right. Now that I think about it, yeah. Okay.
Let me just double check that for you here real quick, because that's easily found.
And I also, I don't think I can cast spells in animal form, can I?
No, unfortunately not. Unless I find something that says different, but that's okay.
I didn't think so, but I was hoping.
Okay, you can change into a reptile, a bird, or mammal. Can be used only once per day. Oh, I see.
Okay.
Each animal form can be used only once per day. The size
okay,
can
so I can do it
vary.
3 times. Yeah.
The size can vary from that of a bullfrog or small bird to as large as a black bear, which a black bear is medium size.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna be a cave bear, man. A woolly rhinoceros.
And your
There's
clothes.
probably spells for that though.
The
so
druids-
we'll get around to that later.
The druid's clothing and one item held in each hand also become part of the nude body. So
That's pretty cool.
be aware that clothing does not include like something.
My mojo bag
I mean,
is my component bag part of my clothing.
I don't have anything against it being a piece of clothing. It's just that there's...
Besides, I can have components in my clothing anyway, so I could do it that way if you want to
Sure.
go that route. So.
Just
But
be...
the only other thing I really hold is my scimitar or my spear, so that's not a big deal.
Well,
Yeah, Shad doesn't have a lot of
Yeah.
accoutrements.
if it's in your hand, then it just kind of folds in.
Okay, well, I would say by now, I'm going to ask first of all. I'm going to just ask in general if there's if anybody knows if there's like a little pool of water or something around out in the woods nearby. Not a lake, not a puddle, but like a little pool.
The monastery has a well, but there's also water that from the stream that they'll divert to take care of the livestock and whatnot.
Well, if there's a pool of water that the livestock use, I'll go use that pool of water.
Okay.
The fact that livestock use it kind of makes it more something I'd want to do. Wow, this spell is common for druids. All right. I will go and interact with the animal, pet them, talk to them, not like converse with them, but just be nice to them, and then I will find the pool, and then I will begin to cast. And this is going to take me a while to do this. But I will begin by walking around the pool in a counterclockwise motion. Stop. Let me rewind that. I need to get a component first. Okay. I don't think it should be too hard for me to find oil extracted from a hickory nut or a walnut. So, I need basically three measures of nut oil. So first of all, I will secure some nut oil, and then I will proceed with my casting. pretty sure I can either find some nuts or somebody in the village around there in the marketplace has some nut oil or something. Maybe even in the monastery, but that's what I need first of all.
That doesn't sound like that would be that difficult for you to already have.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I always double check my components because it's your call.
Yep.
I don't just want to whip shit out of my room and say I'm casting this. It's like some of them have weird components. So, and I will cast my spell so that it begins functioning at high noon. So I will start casting my spell at roughly 10 o'clock in the morning, if I may, unless the time is different.
No, I think that you guys started off the day with, at least that's what I remember, with the research stuff.
Chad is up at sunrise. Chad gets up with the sun, so that's simple as that. So, I will begin at noon to march in a counterclockwise direction. How big is this pond here? Let me make sure I can do this properly. Let's see. Why does it say that? 2 feet, so the pool can be no bigger than 14 feet across in diameter. So I need to find a pool that's roughly 14 feet.
Okay.
If I was a lower level, I'd have to find a smaller puddle. So
I would say if that's the case, then you are by the actual stream because
it can't be running water. It has to be a pool.
No, but there are places that would be by there that have smaller amounts of, because the thing for the animals is, I'm picturing like something that's like 50 foot across that they can all...
Yeah, you're talking like a big pond.
Yeah. So, you were told to go by the stream and look for some places that hold water, possibly kind of sort of unfortunately reminding you of the last time that you might have been in a thing of water and gotten bitten by a certain something. So it's kind of like
I ain't getting in it.
So you go if you're looking at the monastery, you would go left out of the gate, and after I don't know, about 100 or 150 yards, you can see the stream downhill a little bit, and then across the stream you can see where there is several smaller things of water that apparently have maybe been a part of the stream at one time, but the stream is lower and that water is left in those areas and it's not connected to the free-flowing water. And there's you can see that there's some wild animals that use those for their like watering holes. So like at the current time, roll me a D30. Roll me a D30. Let's see what's over there.
14.
Okay, 14. So there's like lots of birds and smaller things. And then as you come up there, you can see like 2 snakes that skitter off into the grass. But there doesn't appear to be any deer or like pumas, nothing large currently around there. But you do see tracks, something obviously that this is a watering hole of some sort. And what do you do?
Okay. So I will look for I will begin by walking around the pool in a counterclockwise fashion and I will call upon the Mother of Waters. O Mother of Waters, I seek to see beyond, to see into another area. I seek to see where we were and see what has befallen the fortress and the woods nearby. I fall to my knees. I take a handful of water from the pool and splash it in my face and say, show me, and I cast Reflecting Pool, which gives me the power of a crystal ball for 7 rounds.
Nice.
I can even cast spells to it. Woohoo! But I'm just looking. I'm not looking into another dimension. So basically it says it functions as a crystal ball. General notes on scrying, detection by the subject, and penalties for attempting to scry beyond the caster's own plane are given in the Dungeon Master's Guide, as well as a description for the crystal ball.
Okay.
I can't read any writing through it, it says. But, and it's a common spell for druids, what the hell? So, I am going to, for 7 rounds, I am going to peer into the pool and see what I can see of the fortress and the woods nearby. Basically, I would think of it as kind of like a bird's eye view, like I'm floating above, looking down, almost as if I'm like a bird again. And but basically, I want to see if there's a sign of any, if the fortress has been reoccupied or there's just lots of dead people in the wood.
Okay,
That's my 2 things
so
I'm looking.
Because of your role-playing, your chances of locating will be rolled with advantage, which means you will have 2 chances to roll the successful percentage. So, what is the place?
The only thing it says I have a perceptive the level to see is that's casting spells through the
No, I
thing.
understand.
So you would have to tell me whatever the crystal ball thing says
Yes.
for doing what I'm doing.
Well, but I'm going to let you roll it to see if you're successful, because there's a chance.
I don't think that I have to make a roll.
Well, if it works like
It doesn't say that.
if it works like a crystal ball, that's what this is.
Okay, so my level is, so I have a 35% chance, is that what you're saying?
No. It's based upon the subject is on another plane. No.
No.
Slightly informed of. What are you looking at?
Yes. The fortress. I'm going to look at the fort.
Well, I would say personally well known, because you've been there for several days, right?
And I've seen it from the air. So.
Okay. So, and then the chance of locating also detects how frequently a wizard will be able to view the subject. In your case, a druid. So if the chances of locating are 100% or more because it's well known to you, the viewing period is 1 hour, and you can do this 3 times a day. But I guess by the spell description it says you can do it a different...
1 round per level.
Okay.
So I got 7 rounds. I got basically about a minute or so to get a good look.
Well,
2 hours to cast this damn thing, and I get a minute of
no,
spell time.
with since you're not in combat, the rounds are a minute long.
Ooh, well, good. 7 minutes, I can see probably all I need to see just for my first review.
So roll percentile.
Come on, baby. With advantage, you said.
Yeah, but you're way up there on the chance for this to work, because you're well
I've got a 47 and an 84, whichever is better.
Well, both of them. When you're personally well known, your chance of locating is 100%.
That's a great spell.
But let's say you were
But it takes 2 hours to cast.
slightly, let's say you just had heard of the place, then it's only 20%.
Now, what about the forest nearby where Colam was?
Can you like pivot and look, or you have to focus on one item?
Yeah, I would like to, if first of all, I'm going to look at the fort, and if I can continue to look, I'm going to cast my gaze to the forest and the pile of skulls that we saw, the pile of bones. That's where I would look next. But first the fort. The fort is primary. I want to see if it's been reoccupied, if it's burnt to the ground, if there's a ship nearby, anything like that.
I hope it's ashes.
I'll take most of them. I'll take major damage that they still have to repair to. But I mean, I've been reading a lot of books about the Wild West and stuff here lately, and man, they could slap together a fort in no time. As long as they had wood, they could slap. So it's like, God damn.
All right, so the way this works is you have a subject that you are trying to locate and look at.
The fort. That's it.
Okay, so what's that? Oh, what's that? What is that?
So,
Why? You want to take a shower?
I was there.
You don't need to put soap in your hair, son. He probably doesn't want to take a shower, and so we always do a smell check on his hair. And so he's probably thinking that, well, if my hair smells good, then I don't have to take a shower. So he puts soap in his hair.
One of those tricks, huh?
So there you go.
Good old stuff.
Okay, so I will concentrate on the fort.
Okay.
And even looking at it as the drawing that you sent, that is how I will choose to look down upon the fort, if I may.
Okay, so looking at the fort, you cast, first of all, you cast the spell, and you drop the nut oil into the water, and it starts to spread little by little. But as you start to move your hands over the water, a weird shimmering forms between your hand and the water, and your mana begins to stretch from yourself and into the water. And as you do this, you start to feel a warmth in your hands. And your eyes start to make out an image in the water. And at first it's hard to see. It looks like you're just looking at the water, but it's starting to turn blue. But then it starts to come into focus. And as quickly as it had turned blue, it turns to darkness. And the darkness then continues to focus until you can see the smoking ruins of a wooden fort that were caught on fire over a week ago. And they're still smoking, and the walls, the outer walls are still up, but the inner tower has burned to the ground. And it looks like it might have rained there recently, because there's a smoke and there's splashes of water, and the wood's different colors where it looks like it's more wet, and the fort is a smoking ruin. Nothing left. There's nothing moving there. You don't see any odd forms of life living amongst the smoldering ruins. It's gone.
No troops, obviously. No soldiers.
Not here. If there were soldiers here, they've come and gone, or they're hiding in amongst the burnt, fallen timbers, which is highly unlikely.
I will keep looking until the spell expires. At the moment the spell expires, I will plunge my face into the pool and dump my head completely in the pool and then pull it back out and throw the water around. And if anybody were there watching me, they would see that my eyes had just turned solid blue for a few moments and then shift back to normal. My mother of water.
The only thing that you see is you see a black squirrel that's just kind of sitting there on the opposite side of the pool. And as you look at him or it runs away.
Well, I will return to the monastery with my wet, dripping head. And whoever I see, I will start to gather the people.
All right, so back to Vanessa. You were looking up something. I had asked you if there was anything else that you were doing while you were waiting, and you started looking something up, and then so nothing?
I do not cast any additional things at this time.
Okay. So, this is the part of the game where your charisma matters. Roll a charisma check.
Uh-oh.
Great. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong page. 15.
Total?
Yes.
Okay. So you come back, not you, the sacrist comes back, and you can already tell that it is not good news.
I can see it in his mouth.
And he says, I sought guidance from the heavens, and I allowed the blend to guide my decision, and it troubles me because I'm sorry I cannot allow you into the sacred area.
I understand, Sacred. Thank you for your consideration, and the blend is wise. Perhaps the temple is the best place for such action. Thank you for the use of your books.
It is my pleasure. I hope to see you under better circumstances.
And she bows to him and leaves the room.
All right. So, where did she go?
To the temple.
All right. So,
If I can once again use the facilities for casting a spell of divination.
okay. When Shadrach comes back to the monastery, he sees Guy and Boris casually walking outside, getting a breath of fresh air. He can interact with them or not as he sees fit.
There's Shadrach.
And his head's all wet. I'll wave to them. I'll hold my hand up in acknowledgement. And I'm still walking towards the monastery proper.
Well,
If they want to come talk to me, that's fine.
I wonder what he's doing. Hey, what are you doing?
I've just come back from a commune with nature, and I have seen the fortress. The fortress is burned, but the walls still stand. But there is no one there. And he looks at Boris and says, I may be able to help you find your sister more than I imagined.
Nebula.
I will need you to tell me as much as you can about her.
Oh, she's
That's-
beautiful.
So for now, until Vanessa makes an appearance, I will basically, Shad will concentrate on getting a full description of Boris' sister, Nebula, and that will be. I'm gonna do a reflecting pool again probably tonight. I'm not saying this out loud to the characters, but I'm either gonna look for Colam or I'm gonna look for Nebula. So I'm gonna get as good of a description of Nebula as Boris can give me.
Nebula's a beautiful woman. She has long dark hair and crystal blue eyes, and she has a large bosom, wide hip curvaceous hips. She's tall like me, but not quite as tall as me. About your height, Shadrach. She's also got a little tattoo that the women get in our tribe.
What year was she born?
Oh, she was born in the fall. Her tattoo is...
Was it raining?
Right.
You don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm asking you for strange details. Yes. After I've rested a little bit and I talked to Vanessa, I think that we might be able to get a good idea of where your sister will be.
That would be fantastic.
From what I understand of what you've accomplished so far before you met us, I think you deserve at least that much help from me.
That's awesome. I know you're a powerful druid, and I appreciate your help. I think that COVID and Pick have left already this morning. Am I correct in saying that, Kyle?
You certainly haven't seen them, and they would have...
I think that was the plan.
Yeah, they left already. We had seen them all.
I
I
can't
think it was
remember.
the day before, actually. Or maybe it was in the morning when we first got there, but that's one of the last things that happened was they left.
You know, I heard...
Hold on. Go ahead, Daryl.
He wants the horse.
Go ahead, Daryl.
I heard that there's a ranch a little south of here that sells horses, a spliff ranch. Did you hear
He's
that?
like, I need a horse. Well, we need to go there then, because I need a horse. Probably a couple spares the way things have been going. All they have around here are mules and goats.
If we're going to go on a boat, you might not be able to take your horse.
I've been on a boat with my horse before. Well, if it's a big enough boat, that is. Well, until we get to that boat, I'd like to be on the back of a horse.
Well, I've already tuned up all my weapons and all my leather belts are in good shape. I would go with you.
Well, I hope so.
Let's ask someone for directions.
And so we shall.
See you later, Shadrach. Did you get all the info you needed?
I was doing that. Shad is going to get a good of a picture in his mind. Because his next trying attempt will not be as easy. Finding her will not anywhere near it will be as easy as what I just did. So,
If Vanessa can describe what she saw to you in her dream or her vision that she talked about, that'll be. She said she thought she saw my sister.
Yeah, Shad remembers her saying that, and he was going to go when he can talk to her. That's exactly what he's going to do.
And you can ask me anything you need as you think of it.
Well, it really comes down to how familiar I am with the subject, and I'll do my best.
Thank you again.
All right. I would like Daryl to roll a d6, please.
none.
All right. So, the three gentlemen are currently outside the monastery.
Do you know where the split branch is?
Would you ask Shadrach?
Yes.
The Shadrach, like, yes, I think I remember where it was. I was only there once.
You can tell us which way to go, though, right?
Yes, it shouldn't be difficult to find.
A few hours, I think I heard earlier.
I'm sure if my memory isn't as good as it should be, then I'm sure somebody here can tell us how to get there. There should be a path or something, I would imagine. But yes, if Shad remembers how to get there, he will tell them how to get there. And Shad probably won't go with you though, because he wants to talk to Vanessa. Unless you want him to go, he doesn't care.
I figure he was busy.
But Shad will tell them as best he can how to find the place, and if that's not good enough, like I said, I'm sure they can ask one of the local people. Shouldn't be a hard thing to do.
I
Shouldn't be hard to
never
find.
need Gee.
He says, I just realized I don't have any money. This is going to suck.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. That's too far to go for no money. I don't have money either.
I know. And I've got a horse.
I guess we're not getting a horse.
Damn it! Damn it! How can I make money around here?
I point to Shadrach walking into the monastery proper. But he has a horse.
I'm not going to ride as whatever that nag he's riding. Oh well. Plus, it's his horse. He probably talks to it. I don't want to ride a talking horse.
Might
Lord
be
knows
right.
I talk enough.
I would like Guy to roll a level check, please. On a
Is that a
30.
D20?
On a 30.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Plus my level?
Correct.
Wow, 35.
Okay.
Rolled a 28.
That's what you
No,
call...
I'm sorry, 34. 34, my bad. I'm not
That's,
7.
that's what you call a bit of good luck. A man who is walking like past your group, holding 2 sacks, and he stops and he says, "Pardon me." This man is kind of stooped over a little bit. He's old, gray hair, got a comb over, a tufted white Colonel Sanders beard, a brown dirty shirt and a leather jerkin over that, and woolen pants tied at the ankles with these leather shoes. "I couldn't help but overhear. You need to make some money there, sir?"
I need a horse is what I need, Grandpa.
"Well, I can't pay you in horses, but I can pay you if you do a job for me."
What do you need, sir?
"I am a tanner. I will take hides and I will make them durable and soft and able to be used for things. But to accomplish this, I need piss."
What?
You heard
Boris
me.
strokes the wolf hide cowl that he's wearing.
To get the fur and to make the leather supple, we collect the urine from people and we use it to work on the hides. And yes, it might smell a little bit, but that's how you do it. So, are you interested in collecting some piss buckets?
I step up to the old man, rear my hand back like I'm going to backhand him. I said, "Be gone, you old fool."
Make a charisma check, please.
Ooh, he's got a good charisma. I think. Alright, D. Come on. Oh yeah, good charisma. 21? No, 31. I rolled a 16.
Okay. So, he's like, "Ah, don't hit me! Ah!" And he screams as if...
Yes, the Lord of the Realm to collect piss.
As if...
I should step on your neck, old man.
Your intimidation, your verbal assault seems to have worked so well that the man is now cowering in fear right in the middle of this monastery, attracting attention with his screams of "Ah!" And as the screams go on, you see people looking and pointing, and of course some people go, "Hey, what's going on? Well, leave him alone!" And there's
I'm not accosting him. My hand is not still up, but I basically have my hands on my hips looking down at this buffoon who's cowering in front of me.
Boris puts his hand on Guy's shoulder and steps in front of him, basically pulls him back. "You should not be doing that."
I'm not going to hurt the old fool.
I'm going to try to console the man. "It's okay. He's just an asshole."
I'm a lord. I will not collect piss for anybody.
I'll make your rounds.
I need Boris to make a charisma check to see if he can counteract the intimidation.
26.
Collect it
26.
for an old man.
Okay. So he's like, tries to like scramble away, and as you help him up, he's like, "Thank you."
I put my arm around his shoulder and start walking away from Guy. "Do you need a bucket?"
Guy's like, no, with people have those already. All you have to do is go around to the tenants in the building and collect the there's a term for a bucket that you pee in a room. I can't remember what it is.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, collect the chamber pots. That's it.
"Okay, I will help you."
Oh, thank
Boris,
you.
what are you doing?
You're very kind. And he kind of looks... The old man looks back and averts his gaze very quickly as Guy's... "Boris, what are you doing?"
Then I look over my shoulder and give Guy the down eyebrows. The grunt things. And I help the man walk
You're a
away.
piss collector. You're better than that, Boris. That's a peasant's job. Nay, a serf's.
What's Shadrach doing while this is going on?
Shadrach is like, Shad's looking over like, well, he doesn't, Guy never struck the man. Guy just yelled at the man and raised his hand. Shad will walk back over there and say, "What are you doing? What's happened here?" And Guy will say, "This man was trying to get me to collect piss for him. I don't collect piss for anybody." And then Guy will stomp away, looking so he can go kick Paco.
I love it when the dice
No, I
say...
mean, that's perfectly in character. A cavalier is not going to collect...
I'm not... Hey, you don't
Sorry.
have to justify your jam. I just like that the dice were like, oh, yeah?
He is not going to collect piss. No, sirree.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take a little 5-minute here so I can get some water and go wee myself. So
That's fine. I'm going to make some tea. I'll be listening.
Isaiah, come here. Isaiah, come here. Can't have soap in your hair. Come on, shower time.
Okay. Okay, I will. Okay.
You're closing the basket.
That's what I mean. I just woke up out of the blue and felt like crap. Yeah.
Change the hot and the cold.
He, the lines, does not collect piss. No, sir. I ain't collecting no piss, sir. No, sir. No self-respecting knight would ever stoop to collecting piss. But like I said, I didn't strike the man. I never touched him, but I certainly scared the shit out. He's not mean. He's not going to hurt the old guy. Though he deserved a good kick, that's for sure. And I might have kicked him if you hadn't intervened. I might have given him a good shove. Or grabbed him by the neck and said, "Look, you." Here's some piss for you. I should have pissed on him right then and said, "There you go. Here, collect this."
Hey, you look like the piss boy. And you look like
There are plenty of those. I mean, what else would they do? Piss boy. He knows about those. He's like, I have piss boys. I'm not one of them. But yeah, Shad is not keen on having the little people intimidated. But he's not. He realizes that he didn't strike anybody, or he just yelled and got angry, which I mean is understandable. But
yeah,
Shad is nonetheless. He keeps an eye on Guy.
It's not the first time Boris has reacted negatively to your hoity.
I'll be right back. Ah. Oh. Oh. Sorry, my kettle went. There. That thing screams like a banshee. Yes, but as you said, yeah, Boris has seen Guy get snappy with the little people before.
Yeah,
But he's never seen me hurt one of them. So
that is true. But until now, I've not seen you raise your hand to one of them. You have talked about kicking their asses.
well, that was pretty insulting what that old man said. As far as he is concerned, that was incredibly insulting.
Yeah.
You might as well walk up and say, here, go collect some piss for me. He's like, what? I mean, I even grumble at Paco frequently, so.
You were the one who wanted to make money.
I've probably given Paco a kick in the ass once. This gruel tastes awful, kid. Can you cast Reflecting Pool?
I think
That's the scrying spell I've wanted since Shad first started playing, because that's exactly what I wanted, to be able to look.
Yeah.
Think of something, because like we could look for any of the group members. I could do that, and it still takes 2 freaking hours to cast.
Right. That's the hold up on it.
But in an emergency, I mean, if we lose it, it could be done.
You definitely have to set aside time to do it.
And it only lasts 7 minutes after 2 hours of casting. But as far as finding any member of the group, it would be almost, like you said, 100%, because I know everybody so well. We all been together for months now, so yeah, we all know each other. Even the new people, I interacted with them enough to know what they look like and stuff like that. So.
Alrighty. So, Boris, you with the man, you go around and you collect chamber pots and you take them over to his crafting area, and then you go back and basically you're pouring all this stuff into barrels. And it takes you about an hour and a half, but it's all done, and he thanks you, and he offers you 2 golden coins.
Well, thank you, sir. That's very nice of you.
Don't spend it all in one place there, Boris.
Meanwhile,
Those are the first coins of the realm that he's ever held. Wow.
while Boris is doing that, Guy, what are you doing?
Well, one of the things I wanted to say that Shad would have told Guy, leave the little people alone. They're friendly to us. They've helped us. Don't you dare lay a hand on any of these people. And Guy would be like, who are you to tell me who I can lay my hands on?
You're hungry?
Shad is like, just
What do you
leave
want?
them alone.
Chicken
I
wings,
don't want to see you yelling
I'll be down in a
or
minute.
threatening anyone again. And then he'll walk off. Guy will just go back to wherever he'll go sit next to a campfire and scowl at people. Or maybe go off in the woods and attack a tree with his sword, which Shad probably wouldn't want that either.
Meanwhile,
But if he wants to, he can. 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 If he wants Yeah, so Guy will just basically mull around. He has really nothing to do except wait until we wait for some action, which most soldiers have to deal with that.
All right. So, let's go to Vanessa. She goes to the temple. And when she goes to the temple, there are the usual cast of characters there. There's people that are seeking a religious moment of genuflection, and there are monks who are cleaning and praying and assorted other things. So what does she do when she goes to the temple?
She's going to talk to the main priest there that's on duty and say, I'm hoping to cast another divination spell today, and I'd like to wait here until the hall clears out a little bit, and then maybe you would allow me to use the sacred altar.
He says, I will start informing people that the temple will be closed for a brief. How long will you need to perform this ritual?
Okay. I'm gonna look that up in my book so I can tell you. I don't think it's a long time. It's less than an hour, but I don't remember positively. Oh, god dang. Find the right book here. One turn. One turn.
One turd.
One turn is 10 minutes.
There you go.
I'll be right back.
Okay, there is a person there called the Hieromonk, and he is also an ordained priest as well as a monk, and he is the one that is sort of in charge of the temple and making sure it is kept in good working order. So he says, okay, give me a while to give everyone a chance to finish up what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt anyone, and I'll enter the temple and sit and pray just quietly and rub my prayer beads, go through a morning prayer.
Okay. So after a short time, you see the last person who is not in the monastic order leave the building. And there's like one other monk there that you kind of know, but you don't really speak to him that much. and the higher monk, and he says, all right, is there anything you need from me?
Well, are you skilled in the arts of magic?
No. I am there. This may sound condescending, and I don't mean it this way, but those who are like you are indeed the rarest of the rare. And who knows why the blend chooses one and not another.
The blend certainly acts in mysterious ways. I hope to reveal some truth about our quest to rid this land of the slavers. If I could get from you just the privacy for 20 minutes or so, then I will open the door and exit when I'm all through.
Certainly. And
Thank you.
he turns and he leaves, and as he exits you hear door closes, and you are inside this very echoey temple of stone and wood.
I move to the altar and I draw forth the pages that I had magically copied from the book of Colan.
Hey, Daryl.
Yes.
I have a very rudimentary drawing here of the temple, but I don't know if you have any creative juices in this area, but if you wanted to create like a more detailed like map or whatever of a temple, then to use for future reference, that could be kind of a neat thing if you wanted to personalize it.
Okay.
The only thing that I would say that's not on this, can you see that?
I can see that it's on the table.
But it's too far away, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I can see black lines. I can see that there is a
Oh,
drawing.
hold on. Well, let me switch the jam here. So let me switch the jam.
Or you can send it via Jib Jab.
Hold on here. Let's see. I'm seeing if this will work.
Better move my little operation now.
Okay, so as you can see, this is what I just drew a square basically, and the altar, and here are the two doors in the front, and then there's side doors here. And so what's not shown here in the temple is that right in this kind of area here, there really isn't any like places to sit. This is more open with like supposed representations of objects of the blend that they deem important. So like, you know, like a pedestal with a statue on it, or a replica of a holy item or whatever. But in this middle square, there's steps that go down in the ground, and that's how you would get to the library. And then underneath even that, there's the place, the undercellar that has the supposed holy relics in it.
Okay.
So anyway,
Holy relic.
I just wanted you to see that. So
Very good.
all right. So let's go back.
If you snap a picture and send it on the Jib Jab, then I would be able to use that if I, create a more customized map that you're talking about.
Oh, Nelly, you're oh so smelly.
So Vanessa places the parchment from the story of Colam on the altar. She lights the incense and lets it fill the air, wafting it around her. She raises her hands to the sky. Oh, holy blend, grant me your omen so that I may better understand the wisdom that you will impart to me as I seek answers to my quest. And I cast Omen 1, which is going to give me a bonus to my divination percentage. I then, that's a one turn casting time, so I pray on that for a while. And then I begin to chant the prayer of the divination. Holy blend by all power, the healing, and true. Give me insight. And I cast my augury stones that I've enchanted to also give me a bonus to my percentage chance of divination. It's saying plus 10, but I guess if high is bad, it's effectively a minus 10%.
No, you would add we would add the 10% to the successful percentage chance.
Okay.
So
okay, I get it.
You're casting divination, hey?
Yes, after the Omen 1, and as I cast divination, I throw the augury stones, and I read them, the symbols that they impart, into the prayer as part of my divination. Effectively, what I'm hoping for here, Cobb, I don't know how much of all of it you've read, but the enchant rune stone is going to give me a plus 10%, and the Omen 1 is going to give me a plus 10% to my base chance on divination rolls. So then, after reading the stones, I pray, O essence of the blend.
Okay, hold on. This is just the DM being a nerd here. So what it is you would actually think about your question, and you don't necessarily have to say what the question is, but you have to tell the dungeon master what your question is. That way I can get to the proper answer. But
right.
And depending on what you say and how you use your components, that'll affect the percentage chance. So, but you don't get the answer until you cast your stones and then you read them.
That's augury.
Well, that's...
I'm using them in conjunction with my divination spell.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I enchanted them earlier.
Okay.
And that gives me a bonus to my divination, but I have to use them during the divination spell. So that's what I was just role-playing.
So what is the sacrificial offering?
The story of Colam, the magical parchment that I've copied the story of Colam. It relates to his story and the knowledge that I need clarity on.
Okay.
And as I throw the stones, and I read them aloud. I pronounce each symbol and say the appropriate prayer with that. And I raise my hands to the sky. O holy essence of the blend, with your wisdom and your knowledge, tell me, is the is reuniting Kolam with the stone the proper thing, or should we never? Is that something that should never be done? I seek your advice to know what is the best course of action in regards to Kolam and the stone to rid our land of the slavers. I beseech you, give me clarity in our quest and make known to me the connection between these things. Amen.
As you peer down upon the altar, you see the copied page start to turn yellow, as if aging right before your very eyes, and before it curls up and catches fire and burns up in a quick puff. And the smoke lingers over the altar for a second before it is blown away from a wind out of nowhere. And I will allow you to roll percentile.
Okay, here we go. That's a D20. Here we go. 2D10. 68. Hopefully my bonuses, 20%, help me out in that.
Suddenly your hands grip the edge of the altar spasmodically as you it tosses your head back and a wail comes out of your mouth. Ah! As you inhale the smoke, it causes you to cough for a second. And then as you shake it off and your knees buckle for a second, but you catch yourself and you lean on the altar for strength and for balance. And the information that you receive is that you want me to text it to you, or do you want me to just say it out loud?
You can say it, that's fine.
The Constellos egg has value, but no longer for Kolam. It is now up to you to keep it out of the hands of the Akaramans. For to the victor goes the spoils. Not only the fort was conquered, the forest has no protector.
Yeah, she's leaning heavy on the altar. The knowledge floods her mind. And she realizes that she's been holding her breath and takes a deep breath. Oh, thank you, cosmic omnipotent benevolence, for sharing your knowledge and wisdom with me and shedding light on this mystery. Blessed is the blend. Blessed are we all. And she'll gather her augury stones and her incense and make her way out of the temple, thanking the Hieroma again, and saying it was very helpful. The blend has given me knowledge. Thank you for it.
You are most welcome, sister.
She's going to head out to the grove.
All right. So as she exits the temple, I would like her to make a perception check, please.
Am I doing D20?
A D30 plus your intelligence.
Okay, I thought. As soon as I rolled that 20, I'm like, that's 27.
Okay. She exits the temple and makes her way towards the grove. And what does she do once she's there?
She's looking for any of her companions, most specifically Shadrach.
Well, Shad should be findable. He's not hiding, and he's there by the monastery. In fact, like I said, he was waiting for Vanessa to show up so he could talk to her.
Well, there.
Basically, he's waiting around to see Vanessa.
There you are.
Shadrach.
He smiles at you. Vanessa.
Does Vanessa smile back?
Well, yeah.
How can you tell?
She's got a big overbite.
Shad can tell. Shad sees the twinkle in her eye. Shad knows Vanessa pretty well.
Shad can talk to animals, right? Oh.
Oh, man.
I do.
I do?
Always calls me that.
How rude.
Hey, look, it's Vanessa!
If Guy said something like that about Vanessa, Shad would probably have to do something.
Well, yeah, luckily I'm the DM and I can make fun of fake people, so it's all good. Anyway, go ahead with the scene.
Shad, Guy defers to her because she's a sister of the blend, so Guy really won't say anything nasty about her. So, yeah, if he was just a peasant creature, he'd probably be, trying to kick her or something.
So I need Guy and Boris to both roll 30s as well.
Uh-oh.
Plus you're doing perception checks, so plus your intelligence.
19.
34 total.
All right, so
24.
Guy, you're just kind of hanging out, wasting time there and looking at stuff, and you see you can see Boris going back and forth to the the tanners in the leatherworking area carrying buckets of things and walking back, and he seems perfectly content to be helping, doing whatever he's doing. Other than that, you don't see anyone else at this time. And Boris doesn't see anybody. He's just having a good old time carrying the piss buckets. So go ahead, Shadrach and Vanessa. And action.
Shadrach, I've gotten answers from the blend. I asked about Coliam. And I think he's been defeated. The wisdom that I garnered named the stone the Constellos egg. So now we know what its rightful name. And it has value, but no longer for Coliam. The gods have said to me that it is now up to us to keep the stone out of the hands of the Acaranians.
Shadrach, are you aware of how the druid can't? It's like it's a way of
the Druidic language.
It's a way of speaking that's not so much a foreign language as it is a very basic description of whatever it is you're referring to. Okay? And
almost like an elemental speech.
The term Constellos, you realize, refers to the order of like people, or perhaps someone in your past that attempted to use the movement of heavenly bodies to predict the future or things. Hence the term constellation. And so that might mean something to you or not. And you may or may not think that it's important or not.
No, you see, Vanessa can see that Shad is knitting his brow, and he's thinking very hard about what she's been saying. It's like things are running through his mind. She can tell that. He's nodding his head and going...
The last tidbit of wisdom, after what I believe is telling me that Coliam has been killed, that he has been defeated, but now the forest has no protector.
I myself was also seeking answers, and while I did not find as much information as you did, I do know that the fortress is mostly burned, but the walls are still there, but there was no one in the fortress. Now that you've told me about Coliam and the egg, I think that my next course of action will be to once again seek answers from the Mother of Waters about Coliam specifically, and then we can decide what we're going to do. But I think also, based on your information, we need to get to that egg as soon as possible and retrieve it.
I'm wondering, and this is just a wild idea, but what if we tried to... Excuse me. Sorry. What if we tried to rebuild the fort and establish a new stronghold of the blend there? Well, perhaps that would include your druidic circle. So that...
How about this? Build your temple in the fortress. I will have the forest.
Well,
I think I need to be there.
That's down the road for sure. But it was just an idea. first we have to see about securing the Constellos egg for sure.
Yes, that's our first priority.
But maybe I can speak to the abbot and see if he could allot resources to perhaps begin the process of reestablishing the fort in the name of the Blood.
Well, I personally would rather see the fort a pile of dirt. But I understand what you're doing, and as far as making the coast safer, that would also be a reason to do so. But the temple, the construction of the temple that you describe is, I can't help you with that.
Yeah, I was just, like I said, that's down the road. I'm thinking ahead.
But I agree with you, and I won't impede you.
I'm just considering all the information that I received.
The fort walls are still intact, but the rest of it is destroyed.
Those timbers could be used to build a new structure and tear down the wall.
Yes, and again, I was thinking that I wouldn't really be too keen on trees being chopped down from that forest to rebuild the place, but like I said, I won't impede you.
Well, I just wanted you to be
your intentions
aware.
are good, and I accept that.
I just wanted you to know that tidbit of wisdom had been added in with my prayer.
Well, now I know I must seek answers about Colan myself, ones that I believe would be more immediate in their scope.
In your reflecting pool, can you search his graveside? Or?
I'm going to search for him specifically and see what I can find. Maybe nothing. But at least I know what he looks like. I know his name. I'm familiar with the area. I should have a fair chance of at least finding out something.
Do you need any help?
No. I know the pool that I will use, and I will continue to use that pool when I'm in this area. I may even designate it specifically, but we'll that's in the future. It was across the little river or the stream, so I consider it to be out of the monastery territory. But yes, as soon as you want me to, I can return to the pool and do that. It'll take me several hours, though. It's not something I can do quickly.
Are you sure you wouldn't want someone watching over you?
That's fine. I don't mind anybody watching over me. But I'm saying, you'll have to stand there for a couple of hours while I do this.
There are many things to do in nature.
This is true. But I'll be fully, yes, if you could prevent people from disturbing me for 2 hours, I would appreciate it.
We could do it here.
No. I won't do it on the temple ground.
I understand.
Both out of respect for your temple and respect for my beliefs. I think it would be it would be disrespectful to the blend if I did that here.
That's very thoughtful of you, Chadrak.
The church and the blend has helped me more than once, and I appreciate that. And I won't disgrace them or debase them by my primitive rituals.
What would you like to do?
As you said, kind of sarcastically.
What would you like to do your spell?
If I still have enough, in fact, I'd like to do this at nighttime. Actually, I'm going to wait till nighttime to do this. So, and I will gather some more nut oil. What kind of moon is tonight?
What kind of moon is tonight? Well, let's see. How about Daryl, roll me a D4, please.
Yeah, I know I got one here. 3.
I totally had you roll the wrong thing. Roll.
D30.
No, oh, I see. Here we go. No, you rolled a 3. Okay. And then, nope, that's wrong. Daryl, roll a D6, please.
Yes, sir. A 1. Ooh, it's twice I rolled a 1 on that D6.
Okay. Now roll a evens odds.
Even.
Okay. It's extremely close to a full moon.
Excellent.
Okay. So,
And the moon will reflect strongly in the pool.
as the day continues, eventually all 4 of the characters meet up for the midday dinner, unless they choose not to.
Shad won't eat inside the temple.
Well, nobody eats inside
He'll
the
stick with
temple.
it, but he won't eat.
Nobody eats in the temple. They eat in the dining.
Well, Shad will not eat in a official religious building.
Okay.
If it was just a building, he'd do it. But he's not gonna. He's weird about that now. He's getting the higher level he becomes, the more esoteric he's becoming about that.
Well, you can certainly purchase things from the quote unquote street vendors. Strips of.
No, Shad eats a good berry. That Shad goes out in the woods and eats stuff. That's what he eats.
All right.
He doesn't eat prepared meals.
Very good. What about the other characters?
Oh, Guy will eat as much as they put in front of him.
I eat both of us.
Okay. So is there anything that goes on when any conversations before or after the meal with anybody?
I will
He is going to kind of
Hold on. Let's go with Daryl first.
I will presume that Bart is not there.
Yeah, Bart's not there.
Okay, just because that's the easiest way to deal with it.
Yes.
That's what I figured. If he were there, I'd probably have a little conversation to let him know. But I will inform the others, Guy and Boris. I guess those are the only ones left if COVID and Pick have gone.
Correct?
And Bart's not there. So, okay, so I will tell Guy and Boris, because I'm excited that I got answers. I will tell them about Colam, unless we're observing silence during mealtime.
Yeah, if you wanna talk during mealtime, you'll have to take your food, outside to the garden or take it to the courtyard, which is you can get there pretty easily.
Yeah, let's go out and eat in the garden.
That'll work. I'm so excited. I cast a divination spell, and I've received wisdom from the blend about Kolam. Oh, you guys didn't see Kolam. The Forest Protector, I'm sure we told you about him a little bit.
That weird thing. I thought that was a giant bug.
That's what I thought, too. But
anyway, what did you learn?
I share limited information. It's like, well, at least now we have a clear path on what needs to be done when the others return and Prince Bartolanthus finishes his research. I think we have...
You mean that weird rock with an egg?
Keep going. I'm just going to set up chicken nuggets for Captain Crinksnap here.
It's the Constellos egg.
How much is that?
The constellation.
Egg. That thing was an egg? My God, what does it hatch? Another giant bug?
Oh my goodness, I guess it could. Were there magical inscriptions on the egg?
Hell, I don't remember. It was a big, weird rock, as far as I'm concerned. It was at nighttime, too. I didn't get that good of a look at it.
It was big. Bart said it
Yeah.
was magic.
He said there was writing on it, too, but I don't know what he was looking at.
I couldn't read it.
All I saw was a weird green rock. Like I said, it was dark. Didn't get a
A
good look at it.
religious relic, I think.
I certainly didn't think it looked like an egg, but oh well. Who am I to know what an egg looks like of a monster?
Are you both
And I was
feeling
gonna say, when we first got back together, Guy was gonna kind of try to get behind Boris and be like, see if you smelled like piss. And give you hell for it if you did.
You should not have been mean to that man.
I
He was
didn't
trying
hurt
to
him.
help us.
Yeah, well, how much of, what was your, incredible payment for your piss bucket toting?
He gets a big old smile and he pulls out 2 gold coins. I've got money now, and you're broke.
What are you gonna buy with those, 2 coins?
Good arrowheads, I hope.
You could probably buy arrows. I'm sure there's a Fletcher here somewhere.
They don't have weapons.
Yeah, I'm sure they use arrows to hunt game. I
Yeah.
would imagine if this place is that unprotected, I'm beginning to wonder if anybody couldn't invade this country.
It seems like they could.
I mean, that old man, I wouldn't have hurt him.
People are nice and friendly, but that comes with a cost. When you
Yes, the
accept
people here are friendly. I agree. They're not bad people.
No, but when
They're
you
peasants.
accept,
What can I say?
when you accept everyone like the blend does, you leave yourself open.
There's other things about the blend. The blend has gods of war. Boris. Gods of pain. Gods of death. It's not all sprinkles and sunshine.
I would like the 2 of you to each roll D20s, please.
20.
Ah! I got a 6.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got a 20.
No, I heard it. That's no good.
Okay.
That's no good.
Implode.
No good. Skell wants to speak.
Nice.
You just wanted to try out the button, huh?
Yes, I just wanted to push the button.
Where is that button? Because I've never seen it.
I found it once and I don't remember where it was now.
On my TV, it's at the top of the screen. Whenever I move the mouse, it shows up.
I forget how I found it the last time. It was when Brad was parting around with all the different filters. Anyway,
If
maybe that was it.
if you're using your phone, you might not be able to.
Gives me little options to do things. I did it one time before. Well, where's your pitchfork? You need the pitchfork.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Either that or Edward Scissorhands. I think that's the neighborhood from Edward Scissorhands.
Alrighty, so if you all are finished with your conversation.
Yeah, you missed Guy and Boris. Boris showing him his 2 little gold coins for taking all day to collect a bunch of piss.
Right on.
You're a broke bastard.
Yeah, and he agreed that the people were friendly and he's not going to hurt anybody. They just need to know their place. The little old man was a little bit too fresh. The Pissmeister. Mr. Pissmeister.
He's Mr. Pissmeister.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to have a Pissmeister.
He's Mr. Turd.
The Lord
He
of Piss
carries buckets of the sloshing that he's heard.
So,
I'm Mr.
yeah, wait till the
Pissmeister.
moon is high.
Touch.
All right,
Takes
so
this shit in my clutch.
as the day goes on and
A year without a chamber pot.
you all patiently wait for the evening to come. There's
What's the guy waiting for? What's he taking so long? Couldn't he just do this now?
the evening. As the sun is setting, the evening is interrupted by the sounds of screaming. And as the screams reach your ears, you turn and look in the direction which is or was the place, like the pasture past the crafting area where Shadrach had created the Wicker Man and had burned, and where he had met the one of the high druids.
Woody's kid.
Is that where we had the wrestling match?
Woodward Laurels, yes. And as you run over to investigate, you see I don't know, could be a family possibly, or unrelated people, but there's a man, a woman, and 2 children, and they're running as fast as they can towards the safety of the walls of the monastery. The walls not being like super great on that section. They're more like a bunch of stones that have been formed a rock wall. And as you look out, the sheep that would normally be being brought back into the abbey for the evening, there appears to be something causing a commotion. You can't quite make it out what it is from this far away. So, do you take the bait and investigate, or do you turn your back on the disturbance? And my question would be, would you have been walking around all day in a monastery ready for war?
Shad is always Shad, so he's ready, whatever. Guy probably is not walking around armed, so I don't think they would appreciate that, and he's not going to do that unless he feels, that's not necessary. We just got done eating too, so Guy has nothing on him.
Boris has very few possessions and tends to carry them all with him all the time. But if he's not allowed to do that, he will leave them by a tree or whatever.
Well, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to go into any of the buildings armed or armored. But outside, it's just like kind of a normal feeling. There's, it's not uncommon for people to have swords. Everyone has a knife. That's like carrying a pencil. I would say not everybody carries a sword around all the time because you're in a place of peace. But it would be like if you were someplace that the gun culture was really active and people walked around carrying guns. I mean, the Old West, I'm sure not everybody carried a gun everywhere they went, but there were certainly plenty of people that did. So it's kind of like that with swords. I mean, they figure you're not going to stab somebody, but, So,
people got assassinated in churches a lot. That was a good place to cut somebody down.
You talking about the Old West?
Even in medieval times, most people didn't take their swords into church with them, but they did also. It depended, but yeah, because I'm thinking of like Renaissance Italy. It was classic to knife somebody in church. That was like a thing to do. That was because the person was on their knees, their back was there. Yeah, so it's a classic thing. But the gun culture thing I'm thinking of. Consider just recently that church in Texas where that guy went in there, broke in there, was going to shoot, and like 5 people in the church gunned him down.
Yeah.
Because they were all packing.
Yeah. People sure.
So there, people do take guns to church. But I wouldn't. He would not go into the temple or the monastery wearing any kind of weapon besides a dagger, maybe. He would consider a dagger like jewelry. Something you just wear and it's functional and you might have to stab somebody with it.
So I'm just trying to set the scene as far as what you would have at this particular time. So,
yeah, I don't think he's hauling around a bastard sword with him. That's a big weapon. So he's probably got a dagger, maybe his flail. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really think he's armed.
All right.
He's not. Nobody was anticipating an attack, and he was maybe, like I said, he was. We just got done eating.
All right. So, back to the question at hand. Upon making some sort of observation as to what this could be, does anyone go to take a closer look, or what would be your action? And we'll start with Guy.
Where are these? Or how close are the people running?
They are approximately 60 to 70 feet. They are ahead.
Okay.
They are ahead or mixed in with a few. Like for some reason, there's some sheep that are also have broken away from the calamity and seem to know where to go. There's always the smart fuckers that somehow know, and the rest of them are just out there going, "What the fuck?"
Stuck in a fence. Yeah. Guy will say, "What's wrong? What are you doing?"
They're like, "There's a giant wolf attacking the sheep. Help!" And
Giant wolf.
yep, and they're just running for their life. There's people that are kind of starting to poke their head around, what's going on?
Guy will say, "Paco, get my sword now."
So Paco will run and go retrieve your sword. How about Shadrach?
Chad will advance.
Okay. Shad will advance.
Big giant wolf.
I could have swore I bought a Shad. Hold on, I think I got a different Shadrach figure in the basement I ordered.
Giant wolf, giant pig, giant slaver, giant. I've been more scared when it's a little tiny pig. We're being chased by a little tiny pig. Uh-oh. 1,000 tiny pigs are chasing us.
Got a leather clad with like a big old wooden shield.
Well, you know Shad don't have a shield.
I know. Okay, so Shadrach
I
will
can
advance.
make wood.
What about Boris and Vanessa?
Boris will move to the tree that he hung his weapons in before he went in to get his food. And he will grab them, and Vanessa will head in the direction of the commotion. As does Boris once he's gathered his things.
Boris doesn't have a bow, does he?
He does. He made it.
Okay.
Crude bow.
I thought so. Okay, and Vanessa, I just had her big old black figure.
Whoa.
Whoa, Black Vanessa.
Black figure.
Where did she go? I lost her. She was right here. Right in front of my face probably. Yeah, hiding in plain sight.
That's the best place.
Okay, let's see if I can fix the jam here. Because that would be important.
I missed.
I've got a spell to cast when I get the chance.
Okie dokie. Uh-oh, it's
Alright,
time.
this is what I'm gonna do.
Hold on. Alright. You got your plate?
Ah, okay, Mr. Wolf, I'm ready for you.
Alright, here you go.
What happened? Oh, I thought we lost the screen there. I got a spell for the big wolf. Wow, if this is really a giant wolf, you could make yourself a serious-ass cloak out of that one, Boris.
Definitely.
Okay, so imagine if you will. Imagine if you will. We have, look at that. Is this backwards too? No, that's not backwards. Okay. That's weird.
Backwards.
Okay, so monastery walls like over here, right? And you guys we're up here just kind of lolly-jibbing and nibbing and penning. And then way over here you got all these sheep. And I have like 2 sheep figures somewhere, but I'm not going to dig them out. So they're all milling around and going this way and nah. And then you got the people running. And they're about, yeah, right about there. And so, Vanessa said, Shadrach said he was going to head that direction. Vanessa, I forgot what you said. Didn't you say you were going that way too?
Yes. Yes, it was Boris.
And Boris was going to get his stuff?
The stuff was hanging in the tree.
Okay, so he's going to have to go up this way a little bit first.
Okay.
All right, so he goes that way. They go there. They go there.
He's still there, remember?
And do you want to
Waiting for Paco to bring his ship.
Do you? Does Vanessa or Shadrach want to interact with these people?
Yeah. What's going on?
There's a huge wolf attacking. It came out of nowhere. It's crazy. It looks like it's foaming in the mouth, but it's twice the size of.
Okay, we'll take care of it. Stay calm.
Be careful, sister.
And I move on.
Chad says to Vanessa, you be careful, Vanessa. I don't want you to get harmed.
Thank you for your concern, but I think I can hold the creature and at least get the sheep to safety.
Chad will say, I can control the creature. If it's what I think it is. But I have an alternative plan in the case that doesn't work.
Alternative plan. All right, where's my big old wolf? Daryl had a dog named Wolf.
Yes, I did.
All right, so now that you can kind of see a big old wolf. Doop. Look at that, isn't that great?
Yeah.
All right, and as you begin to move, and you say, I'll take care of it, the wolf attacks and bites one of the sheep, or at least tries to, as the
I'm
sheep,
casting.
as the sheep are all bumping into each other and creating confusion. And that hits an armor class of -2. Chomp! And crushes the sheep in its toothy maw for 12 points of damage. And the sheep just expires immediately. And are you guys, okay, so that is the end of that round. So now we're going to do actions, and then they're going to move, and everyone's going to take their turn. So, Paco has not returned with your sword yet, Gee.
Damn it, Paco, hurry!
All right, so let's go with actions. So it looks like Shadrach and Vanessa are the closest to the encounter. So, Shadrach, what is your action?
Shadrach steps forward, holds his hands out, and says,
No,
I call upon you.
what is your action?
I'm casting, sorry.
Okay. Vanessa, what is your action?
Casting.
Okay. At the end of the last round, Boris retrieved his, whatever he said was hanging in the tree there. Sword, I think?
He has a spear and a crude bow.
Spear, okay. And then Guy, Paco's not back yet, so action?
I can't do anything really, but I will take a half move forward.
All right. Roll initiative. Daryl. Beat a 9.
C. 3.
Okie dokie. So, nobody goes on very fast. On fast, the people's action is to move. So, their action goes and they move back here to get into the relative safety of the Abbey. I'm kind of moving around Guy as Guy's like, Gee. So then we go to the person that's casting a spell with the faster casting time. So what is the casting time of your spell? Well, we'll see actually. What is the casting time of your spell, Shadrach?
5.
Okay, that's average. What is the casting time of your spell, Vanessa?
6.
That is average as well. Okay. So that means you are in the middle of casting your spell, which allows Boris to return to the area. There it is. What is Boris's movement rate?
Oh, he's charging. Let's see. Movement 16.
Okay. So though I didn't draw it out, you can charge. Charging is 1.5 times your movement rate, and then you can take an attack. So you said your movement rate was what? 16?
16.
Okay. So 1.5, so 8, so 24, which means you can move 12, and then another 12, and you're still not gonna get there.
Okay.
So charging probably would not be the way to go there.
Yeah, it's not going to be an advantage. So, yeah, I'm just running at 16. And Vanessa needs to be within 80 feet. So if she is not within that range, then she needs to move before she casts. But that can't be done, so it would have
I
to
need
be
to be within 80 yards.
Okay, so Boris runs all the way up here on his turn. And then,
shoot.
okay. So he can't attack, but he can change his action to a move at the end of the round, which could get him closer if that's what he wanted to do. All right, so we now go to average.
I'm sorry, it is 80 yards, not 80 feet on my spell.
Oh, 80 feet, okay.
We're doing the same spell, I think.
No, you said control.
No, I can't use it. It says it's barred to druid.
Oh.
I've done other stuff though, so
Okay.
I don't see why it's controlling an animal should be barred.
Well,
to a
80
druid.
yards is 240 feet, and 240 divided by 5 is 60. So you are well within 80 yards of the target.
Okay.
So, but Shadrach, your spell was going off on 5. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So are you casting it now, or are you holding
Yes.
it? Yes?
I am casting it now.
All right.
I'm within 80 yards, I'm sure.
Well, 5 goes first before 6.
I cast Charm, Person or Mammal.
Charm! Oh no!
Verbal and Somatic. Shad steps forward, extending his hand towards the wolf. He says, "Stop! I command you."
I'm looking, and I know this is being nitpicky, but just to me, do you need to be able to speak the creature's language for it to work?
Okay, let me read here. It does not say that in the spell's description. Affects any single person or mammal it is cast upon. The creature then regards the caster as a trusted friend. The spell does not enable the caster to control the charmed creature as if it were a robot. I see no mention here of being able to speak the creature's language. It just notes what can be affected. Brownies, dryad, kobolds,
Okay, so...
Yeah, I could...
Listen to this. Tell me what you think this means. Note
Okay.
also that the spell does not empower the creature with linguistic capabilities beyond those he normally has. Why do you think they
So we
would...
can't talk to them.
Well, it says empower the caster.
Read that again.
Note that also that the spell does not empower the caster with linguistic capabilities beyond those he normally has. My question would be, why would that be in there?
I see that now. I understand that now. So I'd have to be able to talk to him first before I could cast him, is what you're saying. Which I could cast, but I would have to cast that spell first. Is that correct?
Well, that's what the way I'm reading it. Now, I'm not going to say that. Oh, well, I mean.
No.
Here's.
No, I see.
You would know that already.
I thought it was just a thing you could cast.
So you're not.
All right.
So you're
I
not.
get that.
You're not wasting a spell just because that's like saying, well, because you don't know how to swing a sword, you can't swing a sword even though you're a warrior. It's like
That makes sense. That's fine.
You're proficient. You're proficient in your own spells. That's what I'm trying to get across. So that's. So.
I get that.
Do you want to pick something else, or do you want to skip for now and go to Daryl?
Charm animal.
I will cast Windlash. It's a speed 5 as well.
Okay.
And its range is, for me, 35 yards.
35 yards, which is 105, which is 21 squares. And you are
I'm pretty sure I'll get it.
You are currently... Oh, look at that. You're at 21 and a half squares.
Yeah. Lean forward.
That's bullshit, man.
Yeah, I can't make this up. I'm sorry.
It's bullshit, man.
So, but
No, I deserve that for filming my spell. So at the end of the turn, I'll advance.
all right, that's cool. Okay, and now we go to 6, which is Vanessa.
By the power of the blend and all that is holy, protect the sheep from the fierce predator and hold the beast in his tracks. I cast hold animal.
Hold animal, all right. And I'm going to guess there's a saving throw. There
Yes,
is.
it's a -4 because I'm targeting only one creature.
What level is that?
3.
I wonder if I got hold animal. I didn't see it.
It's
Oh,
I wasn't
looky
looking
there.
for it.
Okay. Okay, so
the druid.
Oh, I can cast that. I'll be down there.
you're targeting one animal, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And If only... Okay. Alright. So, you extend forth the power of the blend, the mana, and almost like a very translucent double helix flies out from your hand and fires forward towards the creature. It strikes the creature. The double helix starts to surround the creature, and it begins to topple when... Oh, okay. It snarls and kind of like tugs at the magical energy with its mouth, and it manages to tear through the energy, and it dissipates. Rolled very well on its saving throw, and the spell is warded off by this creature's tenacity. And the sheep are like, what the fuck? All right. We now go to the loser's side of average. And that is the beast. And the beast, its attention has been diverted from the sheep to whatever threw that magical thing upon it. And it looks up and it sees a lonely person out in the middle of this field. And if I haven't described this properly, the way I'm imagining it is that the abbey, I don't know if I said this, but it's kind of on a hill. I seem to remember describing it up on a hill, so it kind of overlooks all this pastoral land. And so as you go out down into the field, you kind of go down a hill a little bit. Not like a sharp thing, just gradual. And so it's kind of like it's going to be trampling up this very low incline. And
I do speak wolf. I'll be damned.
Try again.
It charges up the hill and gets one attack on Boris. So, this wolf starts to, and almost like a horse. I mean, this thing's like medium-sized, as you can see by the comparison there on the table. And it tramples up, and almost like you can hear it, even though you can't really hear it because there's background ambient noise from the people at the abbey going, ah, and all the sheep are out, but it like kicks up the grass, and it comes up and it leaps at Boris. Oh no! Its crazed look in its eyes as it gets closer makes you think that perhaps it is not of sound mind, and the drops of spittle coming off its teeth and jowls are flailing, and it jumps and misses Boris as it, like at the last second, its front paw goes creak, and you see it kind of flail, and no, okay, it leaps, but it doesn't get, it's not able to get a full leap, and it kind of tumbles and comes to a rest right in front of Boris. And you are now facing off with it, and it is up on all fours, but its fucking attack was a miserable failure. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. All right. And now we go to the end of the round. So the spellcasters can take a half move, and Boris can change his action. Or no, you moved 16, so yeah. That's right. Okay, and that's where the round ends, right there. So that is the end of round, technically, round number 1.
Well, yeah, Shad's going to take a half move.
Okay, yeah. And what is Shad's movement rate normally? Is it
I'm
12?
going to move to where Boris is not between me and the wolf.
Is Shad's movement rate normally a 12?
I'm sorry?
Is Shad's movement
My
rate
movement is
normally a
12.
12? Okay, so you can move
Yeah.
6, and where did you say you wanted to go?
Make me go diagonal so that Boris isn't blocking my view of the wolf.
So like this
I don't
way?
advance straight. Yeah, like that's fine. Perfect.
Okay. And what about Vanessa?
She will stay where she is.
Okay.
Stay back, Vanessa.
At this time, Paco returns with sword for Geek.
Give me that, you clod.
You
Hurry.
can see he's kind of like a little bit, he's like breathing heavy, but he's not in bad shape, so he's not like all, he's just like, hey, my lord, sword. Okay.
About time.
All right. So we go to round 2, actions, and Boris is the closest. Action.
Attack.
And then we go to Shadrach,
I'll attack.
and then we go to Vanessa.
I'm going to say casting, but I'm not positive.
Who? I'm not sure how to take that.
Casting, but I may have to change it later. If I don't find what I'm looking for. Is that more, make it more clear?
It does. Just so you're aware now.
If I'm casting and I start to draw the mana,
Yeah, then if you want to switch, then you lose the spell slot of whatever. So.
then it's someone else what their action is.
And Guy.
Do I have my sword in hand?
Yeah.
I advance as far as if I can charge. I'll charge. If not, I'll move as far. I'll attack the wolf.
Okay. All right. Jason, roll initiative. Beat a 7.
A 7, eh? Whoop, hang on. I rolled a 2.
Let me get some, see if I can find some combat music here. Because this is nice, but this ain't combat music.
I'm telling you, man, you need to get some soundtrack music and play that stuff. Because there's all kinds of good
I do that
battle
sometimes.
music.
Sure.
And I say that because I'm a soundtrack enthusiast. I love movie soundtracks, and I'm talking like, you know, action films and stuff like that. I mean, John Williams. I can name a whole bunch of composers that I just absolutely adore. And I'll be listening to that stuff at work, and people are like, "You listening to a soundtrack from a movie?" I'm like, "Yeah."
And it's good.
It's like, "You're listening to the soundtrack from Terminator 3?" It's like, "Yeah." Not all of it necessarily, because I'm very picky about most music I listen to, so I pick out specific pieces I like.
It's a little loud. Hold on. All right.
Ooh, I'm starting to get queasy.
So, nobody's on very fast. The people are all gone from the scene now. So on, does anyone have an action on fast? Boris, what's the speed of your weapon?
Six.
That is average. What is the speed on the windlash?
It's 5.
That is average. Vanessa, what is the casting time?
1 round.
One round. Okay, so you're so that goes off at the end before we get to the extra like movement or whatever. Somebody changed their mind. Okay. So then we go to average. And the speed of Boris's weapon is a 6, you said?
6.
And what is the casting time of... Or no, wind lash was 5? So the wind lash goes.
Chad holds his hand back, and Boris would probably feel the air around him like things sucked, like suddenly this gust of wind just comes and brushes past his head, and he strikes. I hit armor class of 4.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
14 points.
Oh.
Bam! And he has to save or get knocked down.
A loud cracking sound comes from nowhere, Boris, as your kind of a little gust of wind poofs your hair up, but you notice a patch of fur on the left side of the beast gets ripped clean, and there's a little like redness on the skin as the blood starts to seep out, and that's a 19. He is not knocked down. The beast jerks violently as taking 14 points. A blow well struck by the druid on his animal friend. Oh. All right. And now we go to Boris. As he's bared teeth and this fucking monster's really mad now. He's like, ow, you motherfucker.
I can smell his breath, and I begin to do a twirl and go into my battle frenzy as I make my melee attack. That means that I get to make a dexterity check, and if it is successful, it begins the frenzy. If the check fails, I can try again in another hour. So I'm going to roll my dex check. 10, 27.
That is a success.
So that gives me a -3 to my armor class for the duration of my frenzy, which I will keep going until this battle is over. So what that is a series of whirls, spins, and darts that confuses my opponents and makes me more difficult to hit.
Nice.
So I attack. Oh, that's not a bad roll. Back if I hit a 1.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
Right. 1d6. No. Yes, 1d6 plus 3. 6 points.
Win.
So as the beast snarls and snaps, you take your spear
Yes.
and you stick it right into the neck, right underneath, and you jam it in, and the thing jerks back, and a gout of blood flits out, as Brian Brown always liked to. And now it's got 2 things that it's really mad about. Okay, Vanessa, your turn. Or no, so you're at the full round, that's right. Okay, so...
She's begun chanting. By the power of the blood, grant me the wisdom and the blessings of the...
Gee, what is your movement rate?
Let's see, I'm unarmored right now, so it should be maximum. Let's see. Where's the movement on here?
Under the movement and encumbrance section.
Oh, smart ass, huh?
Oh, smartass.
Actually, it's 14. So Shad has a move, I think, of 14 as well. Let me double check that. But yeah, Guy is 14.
Oh.
Nope, Shad is 12. That's for sure. I'm surprised Guy's faster than him. So if he can charge, he'll charge. You're not gonna let this weird druid guy get off the phone.
Okay.
My God, what are you?
So 14
Lose
plus
some wind and-
14 plus 7 is 21. So you're going to move 11 squares at this time, putting you fucking cockfighter.
Indeed.
Indeed. To there. And then the next phase, you will be able to finish your move and get one attack.
Maybe.
It is now your move and attack because you moved on fast and then you moved on average and you come up right next to Boris there and you roll to hit and add a +2 to your roll.
Oh, come on. Oh, what am I looking at? I'm looking at Shan. Hang on. Wrong guy. Here we go. I think I'm going to chop me some wolf meat. Wolf meat. +2, you say?
Yep.
I hit armor class. Well, I rolled 19, so I hit 9. Well, I rolled... Yeah, I hit armor class of... Let's see, my...
Your
That
attack
roll
goes
is
should be right next to
13,
your
I rolled a
weapon.
19, armor class of -8.
That's a hit. Roll dinkus.
Is this a large creature?
No, it's medium,
Boo!
which is bigger than a regular wolf.
And do I get a strength damage bonus? No. Okay. 4 points.
Are you sure you don't hit?
D8 +2. That stunk.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay.
That's why I was hoping it was large. It's a D12 +2.
Well, you know what? Maybe I got the size wrong. Maybe it is large. Hold on.
Is it bigger than a man?
Well, it might be like more bulky than a man here. So well, hold on here.
I was going to say a horse is large. So is it as big as a horse?
He said it was like the size of a horse.
That's probably at least at the bottom end of large then.
Yeah, it is large.
Either way.
Not bad. It's large.
Ooh, D12 +2. Where are you, baby? There you are. 4 points.
Okay. Did you need to re-roll yours, Daryl, because I had the wrong size, or did you roll the right one? Or is it the same for both?
It is actually a D8 instead of a D6 for large.
Well, you did
I did 4
6.
points. I'm good with that. We'll work it in next time.
Okay.
That's average.
Okay. All right. So it is now the wolf's turn. You son of a bitch! Cut it out. Make sure I got the right one. There it is. Okay, well, this guy ain't near as tough as I thought he was, you fucking pussy. Oh, so,
It's just a big wolf.
it's just a big wolf. All right, so it's got 2 things to attack. Both of them struck it. Fuck. All right. Let's go with both of you roll charisma checks, please. Let's see who it hates more. And just give me a total. That
20.
looks like a 1.
I rolled a 1. But my total
30-20.
is 15.
Alright, so it's going to try to bite Boris. And that hits an armor class of 1.
That's a hit.
That's a hit. Okay, I thought maybe with your whirling dervish capoeira I would have blocked it away.
It puts me at 4. I'm just wearing hides.
Arr! Arr! Chomp! Bites you on your left arm and you like fight it and it's like ah! And then you pull your arm out. But unfortunately the skin is broken and you take a whopping 6 points of damage. Ah! Like Rob Riggle and fucking
Baby.
Okay. And then at the end of the round, Vanessa's spell goes off.
By all that is holy, let the light of the blade shine down and protect Boris Crump from the foul beast that he fights. And I cast Deflection.
Deflection. All these new spells that I've never even
Take
seen.
193 of the first volume.
It's nice to have these books, I'll tell you that. Okay.
You should be casting Deflection.
It gives him a saving throw versus death against any attack that a successful hit roll was made. And then if my save is successful, then missile damage is eliminated, but melee damage is halved.
Alright, so let it show that Boris, where's my little jib-jab, has an outstanding effect on him. Current. Bloop.
Ooh.
So, as the power manifests and coalesces, Vanessa does her woofy bloofy hand motions and like as if rubbing her hands around some of the fresh picked fruit, a vaguely glittery, just for a half second, kind of surrounds Boris, just for a tiny little millisecond before it's not seen. But Boris, you feel as if there is something that is looking out for you, and you're not sure what it is. Alright. And will there be any movement from Shadrach and or Boris? We'll start with Shadrach.
Nope.
Now, just so you're aware,
Guy is in the way.
Guy moved into the firing line of the wind lash. So you may want to move a little bit in case you want to use it again.
Just enough to be around it, yeah. You fool, get out of the way.
You go right to there.
I think you can't hit them anyway, so.
And actually, you know what? Yeah, that's a good question. That is a good question.
I think personally Guy would have came in on the opposite side, noting that there was a combatant on that side. But, you know.
We spent $79 on this stock video.
Cop set you up for that one.
You gotta be at that, right?
Moved you right on in there.
Really,
Yeah, true.
Guy was anxious to get into the fight, grabbed his sword, and charged. That's what he
Yeah, you should keep that crazy woodsman from having all the fun. So. You ran right in between them. I guess it makes perfect sense.
Purchase a new phone or use the phone you have. Then set up
I'm not gonna get shown up. Yeah, I'm not gonna get shown up by that kooky druid.
Okay. So that is the end of round... Oh, Boris?
I think Boris, because of his battle frenzy and the way it works, he's like always in motion. So would it be possible to move one square to my left, staying in combat with the creature, obviously, but just to reflect the fact that he's spinning and moving and whirling?
Yes, I'll allow it.
Still in combat, though.
You did not leave the threatening squares. Or the threatened squares.
That is exactly what I want.
Okay. So that is the end of round 2. We now reason I'm not having you guys keep track of fatigue because something tells me this is going to end soon one way or the other. So okay. All right. We now move to round 3. Actions. Guy.
Attack.
Boris.
Attack.
Shadrach.
Attack.
Vanessa.
He will hold. And do nothing.
Fair enough. Roll initiative. Daryl. Beat a 9.
Oh, 8.
All right. So on fast, does anyone want to move? Hearing nothing, we move to the anyone? No, because you got like a 5 and a speed of the bastard sword is probably a 5. I'm guessing.
6.
6. Okay. Windlash is 5. Vanessa. Okay. So we go to average, and you guys want initiative. So unless somebody really wants to go first, we can go by weapon speed. So I see a 5, and Daryl, what was yours? 6?
6.
Okay. So it's either Guy or Shadrach.
Now Guy goes on 6.
Then it's Shadrach's up.
And Shadrach will bring the lash down.
Hold on, before you roll, let me ask you a question. Is a whip... I don't think it is, but... Do you think that's a missile weapon?
No.
Go ahead and roll
It only
this.
has range.
What'd you say?
It's not a missile weapon. No.
It does have range.
But it's not a missile weapon. It's
I
not
agree.
categorized as a missile weapon. It's a spell. So that's the other thing about it. So
Go ahead and
my
roll.
attack goes the same either way.
Go ahead and roll the hit.
Roll the hit.
Roll the hit.
I rolled a 2.
And I'm going to guess that hits an armor class of not good enough.
Yeah.
All right.
My attack is 16, so yeah, what was that?
All right, fair enough. Armor class of 14. Your windlash misses everything that time. Doesn't even hit the hide of the creature. So
Because of Guy, damn it.
I am sorry. Who's next? Guy and Boris.
Stand away.
Go ahead, Boris.
All right, -4.
That is a hit. Roll Dinkus.
Then that's a D8 this time. For 9 points.
Oh,
Ouch.
And I swirl and lunge and slice.
This thing is looking super hurt. It's stabbed in the neck. It just got stabbed right like in its right ear. Slicing it. It's now bleeding. It's got a ripped snaggle tooth. And it's like bleeding. It's just the red is going down its fur. And it's panting heavily. I think it realizes the end is coming. Gee, go ahead. Roll an attack.
He, seeing that it seems to be failing, kind of like maneuvers a little bit and goes back like a baseball player. He's going to wind into it. He's going to wind up. All right, Mr. Thacker, what do we got? Okay. I hit a armor class of 6.
Armor class of 6. Okay, so you wind up, and just as you're getting ready to swing, the beast just moves ever so slightly, and your sword just nicks, and you see some hair kind of shave off its left side. You just barely missed.
Chad and Gee screwed each other up. That's what just happened.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, leaving the beast to be able to attack. And yeah, Boris, you're the one that stuck it, so it's gonna go after you.
So I go first.
No, you already went, I think.
Yeah, you said it was going to go after me.
Oh, just for that, it's an automatic hit. No. All right, so it attempts to bite you, and your defensive style causes it to be able to hit armor class 13, 12. That's a total miss. It's like it's on its last legs, and it's just starting to be able to it's hard to keep itself up off the ground, and it kind of lunges out in a very lethargic manner. Does anyone have a second attack this round? Nobody?
Yeah, Gee does.
Well, then Gee should take it. Or not.
He's going to take it because he's pissed now. He kind of quickly looks over his shoulder at Chad, like, damn it! This time I hit an armor class of 4.
That's a hit. Roll Vegas.
Maybe I'll kill the wolf. Keep the wolf. 5 points.
You make coup de grace, the beast. After you stick it, it starts to fall over, and as it lays there, it's like, You make coup de grace. Or not. You don't have to. You can just let it kind of bleed out. That's also within the options.
He will take his sword in both hands and
and it just jerks real quick and then falls silent and still. And the beast, the large-ass wolf that looked like it was not in a frame of mind, is defeated. And the crowd are going wild. Yay!
Chad wants to inspect the wolf.
Hold on, one at a time. Daryl, Jason. Jason, go. What were you saying?
Chad is going to inspect the wolf.
Okay, and then Daryl, what were you saying?
Vanessa whimpers as it is put to rest, and then she'll move forward to say a prayer over the beast.
Okay. So, the inspection of the wolf. Well, let's see here. It appears to be larger than your average wolf, being about 10 foot in length and about 3 feet wide at the shoulder. Very muscular with whitish hair, which is unusual for this territory. I don't know if wolves, like, their fur doesn't change with the season, does it? It doesn't shed and grow in white hair.
I don't think so.
Maybe very slightly.
So
Yeah.
this.
I mean, there's like really dark colored wolves, and
Yeah.
gray wolves, and they all have pretty much they look the same all the time.
This wolf is whiter than the gray wolf and twice as big. So this is obviously a unique creature. Shad has never seen something like this before. Not even when he was with the witches, or the only thing he's ever heard about it would be that sometimes people who were genetically altered, perhaps, maybe, but that's only like a story, kind of like Area 51. It's like nobody believes it except for people who believe it. The claws, the feet are, appropriate size and sharp. Not like talons, but just, how you ever had a dog poke you with its foot, that it hurts. So the jaws are powerful and wide, with the teeth that seemingly are also wider than probably normal. Like this wolf has been to the dentist recently for a cleaning. And you also notice that even in death, the eyes seem uneven and like one's dilated and one isn't, as if something is different, and that to uncover that would require some other thing. So, your hand is up, yes?
That was what I was going to say. I was going to see if this wolf was diseased, like if it was rabid or something like that, because you had mentioned it was acting crazy and frothing at the mouth. So that was the intent of my inspection.
Okay. Do you have any spell, ability, or proficiency which would give you more knowledge than someone who does not have any knowledge in inspecting of a wild animal?
I have animal handling, heal. Let me see, I can probably, spell-wise, I'm going to need to do a little, so I'm examining the animal still. So
Okay.
Go ahead, Daryl.
I can call
Aha! I have a spell in the can. Okay.
Well, okay, so while you're just looking it over before you cast the spell, Vanessa had approached and was doing something, so go ahead and...
I'm saying a prayer. I just said a prayer to, the whole blend of nature, blessings to the creature, and what safely, and then I will cast Detect Disease.
That's what I was going to do.
Okay, so as you're both there and you kind of both start to something, I'm going to say you both kind of look at each other and you realize that you're starting to cast.
Go ahead, Shadrach.
But
I was going to see if it was diseased.
I would say neither of you would necessarily know what the other is casting, because if there are, each of you can have your own components, and since you're both using mana, then the words that you speak when you cast the spell would be your native tongue, or in the case of the druid, he would be using his druid speech.
Yep.
So, but you both realize that you're starting to do something, and then Vanessa defers to see what Shadrach is going to do. And Shadrach is doing what?
Detecting disease.
Okay.
I have a 70% chance to correctly identify the disease. Failure results in no identification at all.
Okay, so not knowing the spell off the top of my head, I'm just going to ask a couple questions. First of all, does it work on dead things?
The spell reveals whether a creature or object carries a disease.
Well, an object is a corpse, so there you go.
When you switch to Mint now, you'll get 3 months of premium.
And it will also tell me if I can cure the affliction, which I don't think is really relevant, but you never know.
This company spent billions on holiday ads.
So, bringing forth some mistletoe that I crush very lightly in my hand as I touch the wolf, not its mouth. I will cast the spell, and I have a 70% chance of figuring it out.
Roll percentile.
Google Fi, a phone plan from Google.
And I roll a 24.
From the comfort of your home. Purchase a new phone.
Okay, so after a full minute of
In just minutes. Sign up at buy.google.com.
speaking the
My
druid,
eyes were shut, my hands were touching it.
the druid speech, and placing the holy symbol somewhere. Doesn't necessarily have to touch the creature or thing.
Like I said, my mistletoe, I crumpled it up in my hand and touched the animal with it.
And it is revealed that the creature has a magical disease.
Ooh. Is it
And
lycanthropy?
no.
Okay. But it is a magical disease. I immediately turn to Boris and say, where were you hurt?
Oh my lord.
Is Boris bleeding?
Not currently.
But the skin was broken?
Yes.
I'll say Vanessa, he may have some kind of weird disease from this animal.
Well, how many?
You might wanna.
How many hit points did you take,
6.
Boris? 6. Okay. Are you? And what kind of armor are you wearing?
Natural.
Is it like leather
cotton.
or hide?
It's a 10. Is my base armor class.
Oh, okay, sure.
You
So
can
yes.
put a loincloth and a cowl.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he is bleeding, but it's like starting to clot up. So there's like dried blood, and it's still moist there on his arm.
He needs your help, Vanessa. This beast was diseased by a magical disease that I can't identify. Is it curable? Can I cure it, I should say? It says it will tell me whether or not I can cure the affliction.
Are you asking the DM a question?
Yes, sir, yes.
What's the question?
Can I cure the affliction? It says if I identify it, or if I make my roll, I can know whether or not it's curable.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, yes.
Could I cure it? Is what it says. Do I have the ability to cure it? If I can cast cure disease.
I
Does
think
that work?
so. Yes. You understand after examining the corpse that apparently this creature it's like you notice that the flesh underneath the fur is like turning almost brittle, like a hardness, and some of its skin is cracked. And you've seen this somewhere else.
Wait a minute. Like the disease from the creature, the fish creature. Is it like that?
Yes.
Oh, Vanessa, he needs your help. If you can cure disease, he needs your help.
No, not on Boris. On the wolf.
Yeah, but okay. Well, but still, if you can, Vanessa, give Boris a good examination. He might be sick from this wolf's bite.
I will definitely do that.
And
But
what
nobody else is.
what does Vanessa use other than like what would you like her to do specifically?
She will go to Boris and take his arm where it was bitten and inspect the bite wound to see if there's any trace of the possible infection. And she will begin to cast Cure Disease.
Okay, so roll a
Healing proficiency?
yes, please.
Oh, that's a good one. 32.
Okay, so upon examination with a 32, she is very certain that this is a mere flesh wound. As far as anything else after that, she would have to use some other form of information gathering to determine if there was any disease. I don't know if the healing proficiency reveals diseases or not. Off the top of my head, I don't think so, but let me double check that.
Can I say something here?
Sure.
I just read under Detect Disease. It can be one creature or object per level, so I can also tell if Boris was diseased.
You sure can.
Can I roll separately for that?
Yes.
Ooh, hang on. Ooh, 67. Made it by 3 points.
Okay, so we'll answer both of these. So, using your druid magic, you kind of go over to Boris, and as Vanessa is also looking, you kind of pass your hand and crumble there's like a few little bits of the mistletoe,
Flakes.
and the mistletoe just kind of falls and disappears, and there's no reaction, meaning that there's no disease there. Meanwhile, Vanessa, you can't attempt to diagnose and treat diseases, so you would roll another healing proficiency check for that if you wanted.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to... Shadrach determined that it was a magical disease, so I'm concentrating my efforts on that genre.
Well,
That is a 21.
You have herbalism?
Yes.
Okay, you would add a +2, which means
All
what
right.
you do is you get your healer's bag, and you get out some supplies and you create a thing that would, once upon like putting it along the wound, there would be some type of reaction that way to see if there was a disease. And you rolled a successful check with a 23, and that leads you to believe that there's no disease there. And then, since the disease is magical in nature, it can be treated only by magical means. So you don't detect any disease, magical or otherwise.
Okay.
And the same, so you're confirming Shadrach's information.
I think that he's okay. However, his transmits must not be through the saliva.
Shad has finally put two and two together. He says, no, you're right. This wolf was affected by something entirely different that I do not believe is transmitted. But we faced a creature very similar, or we faced a creature in our past before we met you, that its injuries caused this, and I'll show her on the wolf, the cracked skin. So this was caused by a creature.
As you're talking, hold on, as you're talking, kind of a low commotion is coming from the Abbey, and coming out is the captain of the guard and several guards, and they, is everyone all right? They seem concerned, and they start asking people questions, and eventually the captain of the guard makes his way over, and he just waits for a second before he will interject. So if you guys want to keep talking, or if once you notice him, you stop, or whatever. So go ahead.
So this, while she's investigating and looking at Boris's arm, she will cast Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. Does she do anything to perhaps give her advantage on the roll, or does she just cast it?
She's just casting it. She's healing his wounds magically and binding them as she does the ritual.
All right, that's a D8.
Reaper.
And like magic, Boris's arm, the pain lessens greatly, and the wounds close, but it's still tender and raw as Vanessa begins to apply her herbal and healing scientific ways before wrapping the wound. And I don't know what they used for medieval tape, but I'm assuming they just tied it up with string.
Tuck it in itself.
Yeah. From what I understand, it is wrapped it up whatever rags were handy.
Okay, so the captain of the guard says, thank goodness you were here. That's crazy. And he kind of starts to walk over and looks down at the creature and says, that's crazy. Look at the size of that thing.
It's huge.
He turns...
I believe it was driven mad by a disease.
Well, that's... What kind of disease?
Creature is unnatural. I've only heard of these things in legends and rumors, but whatever this thing is, it's not natural.
You don't think the thing just went crazy on its own?
Have you ever seen a wolf this size before?
No, absolutely not. But
And on top of that, I think that this monstrous wolf was driven mad. That it was still a dangerous creature, but in its condition, in its diseased condition, it was probably beyond controlling or anything. I think that killing it was probably the best thing we could have done.
that was Shadrach saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, killing it.
Boris We'll elbow Gee. Say maybe there's a magic wall around here.
Oh, don't say that. Well, this thing didn't break into a bunch of small wolves when I killed it.
We
Not
saw.
that that's any indication, but I was
We
just
saw-
more worried it might be. There's hardly ever one wolf. God help us if there's a pack of these things.
The captain of the guard says, well, we're gonna, if that's the case, we'll need to post some more guards and perhaps send out some search parties just to, although I better ask the abbot about that. I don't know if that's a thing we want to even mess
Dad
with.
said I need to talk to the abbot as well.
All right. Well, do you guys want to claim this carcass or do you want to donate it?
Chad says burn it.
And Vanessa says, yes, it's got a disease. I'd suggest we don't eat it.
No, the captain says that would make a fine pelt.
That's fine.
The pelt is diseased. It has a skin disease. I'll show him. Look.
Oh, ugh. What the hell's that cracking sound? That's the skin?
Yes. That's what I need to talk to the abbot about.
That's a shame. Oh well. If you think it's for the best.
It needs to be burned and disposed of immediately.
Alright, you two men. Get on gathering some firewood and you two take the body over there.
Oh, be careful touching it. That's all I can tell you.
Alright,
If
so
you can put a rope around it and drag it, you're better off that way. Don't touch it if you can help it.
report back to the guardhouse when you're ready to burn the thing. I want to supervise that myself. In the meantime, you said you wanted to talk to the abbot about this, I assume?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, I'll see if he's available. Well, you guys seem to have handled this, so I guess thank you.
I don't see any more.
So he says, all right then, I mean, I don't suggest you guys hang outside the walls. It is getting dark, but obviously you can do whatever you want. And
Dean was saying to the captain of the guards, I would like to join in the watch on the wall if it's all the same to you.
make a charisma check, please.
26 total.
Well, we have shifts all made out, but I guess if you want to, are you sure?
I won't get in the way.
Very well.
It's what I do. It's my job.
So he begins to walk back. What do the rest of you do?
Dad's going to talk to the abbot.
Okay.
I will.
Oh,
Never mind.
a phone
I'm
call.
gonna go back to the abbot.
I'm guessing that's Vanessa.
Yes, and Boris.
Okay.
Boris will go back, but he's not going to the abbot. He's just going back to the
Sure.
monastery.
Okay. So, as
Dean
the
will tell Paco to get my armor and everything ready. I'm going to armor up and be ready.
yes, my lord. So, as the sun is setting and the lanterns are lit, there are link boys to guide you through the darkness, And in case you don't know what a link boy is, it's just a torchbearer that you can give a copper to and they'll walk you from place to place. So that way you don't have to mess with it. And so Shadrach is given a audience with the Abbot Patrick, Vanessa, and Boris. Unless otherwise said, will retire for the evening. And
Vanessa was trying to go to the Abbot as well.
oh, okay. And then Guy will be told that if you wish to help, since you're not officially with us, I'm going to have you shadow Raymond here for the first watch of the evening. And you'll be,
As you wish.
you'll be kind of patrolling this side over here, closest to the pasture, since you're already
Hello.
hey, look who it is.
I took that turn was too sharp and the driveway went over one of the logs.
Oh, well,
I'll be alright.
as long as you didn't pop the tire, that's all that matters.
I don't believe I did. I went out and looked. I didn't hear any hissing or anything.
We got like 15 minutes to go, so I'll catch up with you.
That's great. But would you like to hear how off my drawer was?
I will talk to you in 15 minutes, I promise.
Good enough.
So, let's go to Abbot Patrick and Vanessa and Shadrach. So you, as the Abbot is sitting in his chair in his little house, you all are brought in and told to have a seat, make yourselves comfortable. And the Abbot says, well, I think you guys are going to be the last thing for me today. I was told about a little bit about what just happened. But as long as you're here, if you want to fill in the blanks, that's fine. Otherwise, according to the captain, you all took care of the issue and there wasn't any more trouble. So, but what brings you here today, sister and Shadrach?
Well, I wanted to share with you the information about the Constellos egg. Does that mean anything to you?
He says, as a matter of fact, it does. If it's what I'm thinking of, it is a long lost relic, and supposedly it had the power to direct control of territory and or armies who were in possession of it. But that's the story, that's the legend.
Some of our companions have located it, and I sought the wisdom of the blend, and I'm sure that it falls upon our shoulders to protect it now and keep it out of the hands of the Acraymans. And I wondered, with your permission, our friend Bart has mentioned that he could transport the relic here. Would you be opposed to us doing that? Can we keep it safe here?
It needs to be secured, or this whole region will be in danger.
Well, let me think on this. Let's, as long as you all are here, let's do this the way we used to do it back when I was an adventuring scoundrel. What are the pros of bringing a supposed ancient artifact, pre-blend, if you will, to this monastery? One, probably pretty safe.
I need bandit.
What kind?
Double A. Should I go to the store?
I've got some, but they're probably not charged.
Damn. Thank you.
You could probably go to the store. Like up in High Ridge, there's a dollar store or Walgreens.
Alright.
They're open. I don't know how late they're open.
Yeah. Not be a bad idea. I bet I can find some batteries.
Go ahead. So it'd be safe. 2 pro. Well, it would be. I mean, whoever finds such a thing can lay claim to it. Not like that would be the kind of thing that would necessarily go with our particular brand of faith.
I merely wanted to keep it away from the Acaraymans. Where it sits now, I understand, is along the coastline, which is, if they search, they may eventually find it, since they're raiding up and down the coast. We're further inland here, and because we aren't, our religion isn't affiliated really with Colam and his beliefs, more Shadrach's area, I think, and we welcomed him here. Perhaps another bonus to bringing it here is that we could study it and learn more about how to protect it, or perhaps it can protect us.
In the wrong hands, it will be very dangerous. If anything, if you wish to put that responsibility upon me, then so be it.
If what you said, Abbott, about it directing Army's control, then I can see why the Acaraymans want it. Because they are definitely an army.
Do you think that they...
There was also something else.
Go ahead, Shadrach.
The creature that was just destroyed outside, I believe, was diseased by the spawn of Zonagan. Aha.
Are you saying that you think that there is another creature somewhere, or do you think this is the same spawn that the Kyrin supposedly was going to stomp out or attack or whatever?
I fear that Zonagan had many spawn and that they are widespread and hidden. And I believe that, at least I personally think that this is one of Zonagan's spawn that has not been found yet. And I fear that this whole region is polluted with them, and that it would take a major effort to get rid of them all.
Well,
The cave system, the underground water, there's too many ways that they can get around and escape. A handful of people can't deal with that. But I thought you should know that I recognized the signs of the disease on the creature immediately.
well then, I will send word that we require the assistance of the Republic, because I don't think that is a job for us to go hunting for those creatures.
No,
I
that was
appreciate
not my suggestion.
I appreciate being told, though, because I think this might require a different set of skills, or perhaps that could be something we could. You know where you're going?
Yeah, I'm going somewhere.
You know, you can always punch in your GPS. Although your GPS is a little older, it might not show the. Oh, there you go. There you go. I would suggest going to High Ridge, though.
That's where I'm gonna go.
They got a dollar store and a Walgreens. Hopefully they're open past 9.
We'll find out.
If they're not, then you can go to Walmart.
Speaking of Walmart, today Lee's birthday.
Today's Lee's birthday,
Yeah,
and was it like 22?
that's right.
Nice.
I became a father 22 years ago. And I've been a mother long before that.
You were a mother when I met you.
Well, Lee, you won't watch us, but happy birthday. So I will send word to.
That's a wonderful idea.
I will send word not only to the high priest or the praetor at Tila, but I will also send word to the capital. And I was going to send word to the capital anyway about the situation with the Acaramans. I find it hard to believe that they're totally unaware of this, but
It seems
Oh no, I believe they're quite aware. They didn't strike me as being stupid people.
as far as the Constellos egg, I would be willing to house it here for a while, but it seems like it would be the kind of thing that would just draw if word got out. If you could do it where no one would know, I could see us keeping it safe, but if word got out, there will be people or other things. They would have to anytime there's ever been an artifact or a relic, there has always been conflict around it. So I don't want to bring conflict here. So if you can promise me, Sister Vanessa, that no one will ever find out, then I trust you. But if you cannot make that promise, then I can't see myself wanting it here.
that is a promise I cannot make.
No. But let me say this. If we can bring it here, we can take it somewhere else. It needn't stay here forever. I'm working on a plan by which this item might be well hidden. But we need to bring it here first and keep it away from the Acaramans. Can we at least bring it here for a short period of time? I think you can trust us.
He looks at both of you and he says, group charisma check. Both of you roll charisma. Let's see what happens.
Well, what do you know? 22.
I rolled a 19, so that's a 34, sir.
All right. The dice say, okay, you have my blessing, but you can't, if word gets out,
You froze up there for a second. If word gets out, what?
I just was quiet. That's funny. You
Yeah,
froze
like-
up.
I'll take the responsibility if you wish. Don't put it on Sister Vanessa. This is
Well,
something...
Shadrach, you're not a member of our society, so as much as I might like you, what you want to take responsibility for is not, that's not a thing. It would
What
be,
about-
ultimately it falls to me. So,
You're right.
what were you saying,
What
sister?
What about the cell that contained Bazanagon? If we sanctify that area and let Bart become familiar with it, he said he can only do this with a place that he's been or knows, then he can preview the area. We can make sure the ceiling is high enough to accommodate it. and that would be out of sight. But it feels unholy there, but I know it's part of our monastery. If I could sanctify the area before we bring anything into it, make sure there's no evil spirits or...
Isaiah, where are you going? Hold on a second. Isaiah, where are you going?
Well, I'll say to you,
water? Okay, go ahead.
Chad believes that he can create a sanctified cairn and bury it beneath stones that I can create. So that's one thing I'm thinking of, but that's another good idea. What you're saying is put it down there.
The
It would be
Abbot Patrick says, where is Bart?
He comes and goes.
It seems oddly convenient that he shows up and then all of a sudden this legendary item becomes found.
I think the item was stumbled across quite by accident from what I've understood from the people who saw it firsthand, being Guy, Boris, and Bart.
Of course.
I don't believe Bart was looking for it. He certainly doesn't seem to be very focused on anything in particular. It seems to me like he's just a wandering adventurer.
He is a little blind.
You'll forgive me if I'm not going to go down the blind path of instant acceptance.
Fair enough. I don't know him that well, but from what I know of him, he doesn't seem to be. He doesn't seem to have really much of an agenda.
He doesn't seem malicious, but he's a little bit flighty.
Elves always have an agenda.
He comes and goes as he pleases, and he is also apparently quite powerful.
Just the type of
He's a prince
person.
of the Emerald Forest.
Just the type of being that would be in the business of relic hunting.
Yes, I believe that.
Well, Vanessa, I'm counting on you to find out lots of things. I'm going to go and I'm going to put my faith in you. Don't let me down.
We will do what we can.
Find out if Bart is telling the truth, what his true agenda is, because there's no way an elven prince just casually stumbles upon a legendary item. I don't believe it.
Well, it certainly was in the area where we were already, so it's hard to say. But I think the whole area is probably enchanted.
Abbot Patrick looks at you, Shadrach, and says, I just said it. It wasn't that hard. And you can tell that his happy-go-lucky exterior has been tweaked by this new information. And this is a part of Mr. Jokey Abbot Patrick that you have not seen before. And it is
he just got a bunch of stuff built there.
no roll needed to sense motive. And
instead of us going off and doing something, we brought it here.
He says, I will think on this. I will pray on this. I hope you both do the same. Because my prayers aren't the same as yours. You may take your leave.
Thank you for speaking with us, and have a pleasant evening.
May the blend watch you and cover you in its twirling masses of everything and nothing.
And Shad is appropriately humble.
And that is where we will end tonight's game. Cling!
We got some.
Yes, we did. probably could have. We probably would have gotten ourselves into a bunch of trouble if Mark had been here. We'd have already been up there getting attacked by an army and shit. So good. We've had a time to prepare. We have more of an idea of what we're going to do instead of just leaping through a hole. And like I said, if we can move it once, we can move it twice.
So as you guys are walking to wherever it is you're going, you're having this conversation, and no one's around as far as you know, except for that secret guy that's in the corner going. I would
between the bushes.
Daryl, I'm assuming you're working tomorrow morning.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Otherwise, I would say we could play later, but that's fine. All right. Any comments? Any ending statements before we go?
Have a happy New Year, fellas. Be safe.
Happy New Year. I'm working, so
Right on.
I'd like to play again.
Well, that's okay. It was just off the cuff suggestion. It's not like I had anything, prepared. It was just, I'm not doing anything.
And
No,
Brad,
I mean I agree. I'd like to be able to play another session. That'd be great. I think that'd be fun. But dang it.
get better, Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah, Brad, please feel better. You feel better too, Daryl, and anybody else who doesn't feel good. Damn it.
I'm feeling better than I was when I got home. Being off my feet.
My headache is.
Well, that's because
Yeah, I've
you're
been
playing
headache all night, but it's not been that bad,
D&D makes everything better, boys. Makes the medicine go down.
That's it. That's it.
All right. Thank you. And we'll see you next week.
I love y'all.
See you next year. I love you too. See you next year. Cling!
Happy New Year.
Nice. All right, Internet. That's it. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next week. Be good, or be good at it.